Hey guys, welcome. Thank you so much for joining us today. We are Vacay Mode Travels. That is Sarah. I am Alden. Thank you so much for joining us.
Today we are going to be talking about the top honeymoon trends for 2025. So if you are planning your honeymoon, stay tuned. You're going to want to hear what we are seeing this year in honeymoon trends.
Yeah, remember, there's so much work that goes into your wedding, whether it be a destination wedding, local, what have you. And a honeymoon is a celebration of that first year, being married. It's a big getaway. You only get one honeymoon, so you want to get it right. Here are some of the trends that we're seeing.
Absolutely, and there are 7 big trends that we are seeing in 2025. So the first one is people want to have more of a combination. So they want modesty and luxury in their honeymoon. Now, there's a little trick here for this. You don't want to start with the luxury resort and then go to a more modest resort where you have time to go out and explore and do adventures. You want to do it the reverse way. You want to start with a more modest resort, have a spot where you can go out, adventure, zip line, do all those things together, and then on the back half of your honeymoon, enjoy the luxury side of your honeymoon, because that way you can go get a massage, you can, get all those stress nuts out and really just relax. A lot of times if couples start with the luxury side and go into the more modest, they end up being a little disappointed on the back end of their honeymoon. So we never advise doing it that way. We always advise if you're going to do a split honeymoon, start with the modest, go into the luxury.
Yeah, and big. The second one we're seeing is sweet spot honeymoons. Couples are looking for that sweet spot mix of adventure, romance, and pampering. They want to be active during the day, do their excursions, and either stay on site where they can do that or go explore off site, come back and enjoy that moment of romance, maybe have a beachfront dinner where they can reflect on the day's activities that they had. And then they usually they want to block off that last day or two where they can just relax, have a spa day, pamper, have that last final breath before they get back to their normal day-to-day. So that's what we're seeing. A lot of couples are looking to do that.
Absolutely. The third one is going to be cultural experiences. And if you do this right, there are a lot of resorts that have a phenomenal balance of luxury, romance, and the cultural experience. So that's always one of our goals when we meet with couples, is to understand what components are important to you and make sure we pick the resort that matches those. But cultural experiences are a huge part of honeymoon trends this year. People aren't going to destinations just to get a break. They want to experience the culture. They want to see it. They want to taste the different kinds of food. They want to explore and really embrace that experience.
Yep. If they go to Mexico, they want to feel like they're in Mexico and not just in a glossy type resort. Or if they want to go to France, they want to know that they're definitely surrounded by the culture that they're choosing. The next one is off the grid honeymoons. People are looking for that off the grid space where they can just unplug, unwind. They don't care if they have Wi-Fi. They don't care if they have any communication to the outside world. They just want to disconnect. Some examples of this might be the Maldives or maybe the Dolomites, places in Italy, Tuscany, where they just want to get away, maybe a farm bungalow, something like that. An overwater bungalow in Bora, always a great option to unplug. There'd be no problem with that. So they definitely are seeking out those places where they can just check out completely.
And with all the technology these days and AI and how much things are done digitally, there is no surprise there that people are truly looking for an unplugged break. I know that's something I would always look for anytime that we're taking a trip. The fifth trend we're seeing this year is eco-conscious. This continues to be a trend. This was a trend last year. Sustainability. People want to know that even though they're taking these extravagant vacations, they want to know that they're not hurting the environment. So they're choosing eco-friendly resorts that offer alternatives and do care about the environment. A lot of resorts will include this in their mission statement. Again, just another factor that people are looking at for honeymoons.
Yep, definitely. Number 6 is foodies. One of my favorite. Couples it is important to them. One of the top 2 things a lot of times will be, hey, how good is the food? Is it just a bunch of, fried poolside food, or is it food that reflects the local culture that they're looking for? Food is always subjective, so the goal with us, and if you're working with us, is to try to give you options in a variety, places that are definitely offer good food options. Maybe they have a Michelin star on site if you want to have a romantic spot. And it doesn't always have to be an all-inclusive. Let's say you're indifferent about the all-inclusive. Maybe you want to consider being close to some of the local spots nearby your resort. That way you can go explore, catch some good food spots outside your resort.
Yes, and the last trend that we are seeing this year is shorter honeymoons. You guys, it's no surprise, airfare prices have gone up significantly, and this is impacting how long people are doing honeymoons for. So this year we are seeing people take shorter honeymoons, maybe they're 3 to 5 days, just to try to offset that airfare cost. And yeah.
No, more quality over quantity. It doesn't have to be, people would rather have a 7-day quality stay with great experiences, good food, than a 10-day that just didn't meet their expectations. So in 2025, couples are definitely looking for that custom, more of a memorable, curated experience, and making sure it's one for the long haul. Many couples spend more on their honeymoon than they may on any vacation they take. So they're going big, and they want to make sure that it's a memorable one.
Absolutely. And if you guys are looking to plan your bucket list honeymoon, you want to make sure it's done right. You want to make sure you're matched to the property, the destination, everything that speaks to you and your personality. Schedule a complimentary consultation with us. We'd love to get to know you and what your hopes and wishes are out of your honeymoon and make that a reality.
Hope you found this helpful. Thanks for spending some time with us. Have a great rest of the week.
Safe travels.